Hello, hello. I hope you're doing well. Let me get set up here. Oh, sorry about the noise. The jets are flying today. So I don't think they'll be too noisy. They do usually do a couple flyovers and then they're done. But yeah, actually they might be done already. That'd be nice. I've already shared where I want to share the video so we can just like hang out together for a few minutes until more people get here. Hi, Dina. How are you? Hello, Lisa. Hope you're doing well. It just occurred to me that I neglected to fill my water today. So, well, I mean, I had some water today, but I neglected to fill it tonight. But that's okay. I'm here. That's what we got. I am good. I had my interview type thing with Seth after today, and it was pretty good. Hi, Sandra. I haven't seen your face in a really long time. I hope you're doing well. Hi, Susan. Welcome to the show. We'll give it just a couple minutes while everyone gets here, and then I got some fun canceled checks in the mail today, and then a photo that's very funny. I can't wait to show you guys. Oh, thank you, Lisa. You know, well, it's funny because I don't even know where it's at, Dina. Hi, Annie. Thank you guys so much for saying that. I had a ton of fun. Seth is such a cool dude. He really does always like give credit where credit is due and give some really amazing shout outs. And he's such a great guy. I am really, really glad to have connected with him in the last year. And I hope that, that we can do some more stuff in the future. Hi, Nancy. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. Hi, Nina. I saw your comment today from the live back in March. Oh, good. It's 7 o'clock. I got a lot closer today to 7 before starting than most days just because it's been a busy day. But I'm glad you all can be here. So I do plan on working in the tags and envelope book. But I want to show you a couple things first. A couple things came in the mail today. So I showed you my the French canceled checks. Let me show you those because they really are quite incredible. Okay, so first of all, let me show you these ones because I've shown the French ones before, but maybe it was to just the supporters. These came in the mail, and they are very cool. The great thing about these is they're a lot cheaper than the French ones. So when I buy checks like this, I can put them in kits and stuff. So I try to snatch up a couple here and then like when I see them. So you can see I think I have like 20 or something. So that'll make a good addition to a kit. And they're great. They have beautiful handwriting from the 1920s and this huge signature is great. The images, the bank images are beautiful. Oh, look at that one's a little different shoved in there. So these are cool. Again, I really like holding on to things like this for kits. So when I have a big section or I can get like a good amount of them, I hold on to them. Then there was this. These are smaller, but still very cool. And again, a really good price, a kit price. I can put these into kits. And they're English. These ones are from 1920s also. 1928 and 29. These ones were written in pencil, it seems, but still nice. And the imagery is great. And then these have huge paid stamps on them, which is fun. The other set doesn't have those. Yeah, give it a refresh, Sandra, because mine seems fine. Yeah, Nina, that's so awesome. It does seem blurry, really, really? Is it just around the edges and not in the center? Hi, Tina. Because my picture seems crystal clear. I mean, I could zoom in a little bit, but like there's not like a focus. It just is there. Okay. Yeah, you guys who are blurry, just give it a quick refresh and see if that helps it and let me know, okay? So those were the English ones, like from American. And then I just wanted to show you, look at the, compared to the French ones. The French ones that I got last week or the week before are way bigger and they're way, way cool. They're also a whole decade earlier from the 1910s. Oh, even 1908. So even a little bit less than that, 1914, 1909. And these have amazing imagery on them, and they're huge. Again, huge, huge, huge. But they were really expensive. So, I mean, they're cool, and I'm glad to have them. They won't go into kits, but I will be able to do other things with them, like provide them as a digital download and stuff like that. But I really wanted you to see the size difference. Isn't that funny? How different they can all be? Yes, everything was like big, big, big. So those are cool. And then I just have one picture to show you today that is beyond hilarious. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Thanks for, and P.S., thanks to anybody and everybody who stopped by to see me on the Seth After interview today, because I'm not going to lie, going in, I was a little nervous, but Seth is such a nice guy and he made it easy. And so thank you, Michelle, for being there. Nancy, everybody that was there today. I really appreciate you being there. And that helped me ease up a little bit because I knew some of you faces. So that was good. This picture, I don't even know what to say about this picture. It's hilarious. Oh, okay, Sandra. So yeah, increase the quality of the picture to 720 like Sandra did and see if that helps out your blurriness. Thank you, Sandra, for saying that. That will help us for sure. So this picture, again, I'm working on this book called Distinguished Guests. That's like a really great resource for vintage photographs of people. And this one is definitely going to make it in the book. It is this man in a rowboat in the middle of the lake. The boat's name is Buddy Jr. And this man, whatever he's doing, he is standing up in the boat, Nancy, absolutely. But he's got a raw fish to his face. Now, he's probably just pretending to eat it, and I'm going to just go with that because that makes me feel better. Hi, Terry. Thank you so much. But yeah, he is definitely eating the fish, whether he's pretending to or not. But it's so good. I know it's a little hard to see, but you'll get a better look at it later. It's hilarious and weird and perfect for a book of distinguished guests. So that's the picture that came in the mail today. Adding that to my pile of weirdness of distinguished guests. And the distinguished guests are fun. Like I have, you know, men holding hats or canes, or, you know, just a couple priests. I think I have a nun. I have lots of kids. I have just all kinds of like fun stuff for sure. It's going to be really good. A really good resource, my distinguished guests book. And since I have a little bit of a different group here tonight, maybe real quick before we get started, I'll show you my Dipped and Sewn book from the Bookmakers Collective that was just this past weekend. So this was taught by Kristen Peterson, and she taught us how to dip and how to dye and how to sew and how to do image transfers and mark make in like a very free, easygoing way, and how to just work with what you have, even if it doesn't come out right the first time. And it was really great. So just a quick flip through of my book and some of the decisions that I made and things I chose. And I will continue to work on this book throughout however long. There's lots of pages in here for me to fill. So I made mine really big, but I thought you might like a nice peek at that. There's really good stuff in here. And it's not even close to done, which I think is fun too. Yes. And so used vintage text and some fibers and fabrics, washi tape, did some image transfers, made some folds, did some good stuff. So that's my chunky little weirdness. And then tonight I am going to work on the tags and envelope book. So I'm still working on the craft version that was started a while back. This is the original that I was working on, and there's still things to do in it. I just haven't gotten back to this one because people wanted to see again how I started the book, and so I got these craft coin envelopes in at Wow Studio, and in addition to these like more yellow ones, which incidentally is also called craft. So I'm not sure, you know, I just left this word as craft envelopes. I'm not craft, coin envelopes, and then these are the craft version because it's the gorgeous recycled brown that we're used to. But so people wanted to see how I made this one. So I when the envelopes came in, then I started again and have been working in it. But here's the original, and it's an accordion style. So it actually, you get to see both sides of everything. And it has all these little tip-ins. And I'm not doing exactly the same stuff on this new one, but similar things in the craft style. So this one got really chunky, and I'm kind of practicing or trying to not do that in this craft version. I did some image transfers, and I have some tags, but I'm trying not to get crazy with these tags. Not as thick and overdone as the first one. It's hard, though, because I just love layering stuff up so much. Oh, how is what bound? The Kristen book from the weekend, she did a pamphlet stitch. Yeah, good stuff there. And I put 7 signatures in mine. And I'll do a quick flip through and show it on Instagram tomorrow, where you guys will have a much better view. My live camera is not quite as nice as my phone camera. So, I mean, you still get a really nice view of it, but I'll have much better detail tomorrow for you. Snap a couple photos, and then I'll work in that bad boy. So far in this, because I think I was out for a couple weeks. 1 week I was on the phone with the banker. We're trying to buy a house. And last week I had a headache. So no biggie, just normal stuff. But I am glad to be back. So I'll give a quick run through of what I've been working on here. And then if you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will get to work and start moving on with this bad boy. This one, I've done some stenciling with a makeup sponge and Wow Studio stencils. So here is the pods. No, I'm sorry. This is the fisheye stencil. I also used the stencil numbers, and I just used a pen and got it wet. And I used the wheat stencil with the makeup sponge, and then I came back and did some doodling with a pencil. Here I used some handmade stamps. These are stamps that I've been carving with Tina Walker for Stamp Lab, which comes out every Friday. And some mark making, and there's some black on black here, which I really love, tone on tone. So this is like a wash of black, and then I did some asemic writing on it. Some mark making with some watered down acrylic. And there's pencil, and there's pen, and there's paint, and there's collage. Here's another stamp that I carved. Yeah, so it's good stuff. Here's an image transfer directly in the book, which I think is really fun. I'm loving this book so much, and it's a little more subdued, which I think is fun. And I think it's going to just be a really nice sort of little flip through in the end, where the other one got kind of overcomplicated. I mean, it's still a nice book, and so in addition to that stuff, I did some image transfers. Dina was asking me if image transfers could be done on vellum, so we tested that out, and that worked really well. I got to figure out how to put that in the book. There's this one also. I think it's part of this one. Yeah. And then I started working on these tags, and one of them we also did an image transfer on. And so I need to decide how I'm going to implement these tags and this image transfer. And especially because I have this gal, and then I thought that this guy was a great compliment, but maybe he deserves his own page. And he absolutely could be sideways. Michelle asked if you're going to be able to get your hands on some of the hand-carved stamps, and the answer to that is a resounding yes. I'm just not sure about the time, about when. And if you are interested, I just started carrying the stamps that I've designed for Viva Las Vegas Stamps in the Wow Studio shop. So if you want the stamps individual or unmounted, you can order them straight from VLVS, and you know, no middleman that way. But if you want like a whole set of stamps clean cushioned, I can do that for you, and that's what's listed on my website. You won't be able to get those from VLVS, but you can get those from me that way. So it's like a whole set, clean cushioned, ready to use when you get it. Yes, I absolutely plan on making that available for you. And some of those carved stamps, I mean. Well, thank you, Nancy. So Nancy says if you guys need to adjust the quality of your video, there's a little gear icon on the same line as the start and stop buttons, and it's in the settings. So if your picture fuzzy, I actually have a really great connection tonight, and everything looks great on my end. So if you have a fuzzy video, give it a refresh, and if not, up the quality of your video to 720 or higher if you have it. Hi, Tiger. How are you? I actually was looking you up today for something. I was going to check on you and just see how you're doing. I hadn't gotten a chance to see you in a little while. So I have these, and I need to figure out how to work them into the book, but I Love these little dots that are happening here. And I think they were probably made with Stabilo. It was a little while ago, but I just want to fill the rest of this little flap because it looks really cool. So that's what I'm going to do. I know, I love Stamp Lab so much. So Stamp Lab is where Tina Walker and I, whoops, a little bit of an avalanche there. Sorry, because I had some ribbons piled up. Tina Walker and I have been hand carving some rubber stamps. So I do need to say, it started out at Carve December with Julie Faye Fan Balzer. And we just had so much fun carving stamps that we decided to keep going. And so we're carving stamps once a week. So these are all the stamps that I've been carving. Yes, thank you so much, Sandra and Nancy. I'm going to start making that comment at the beginning, along with changing your top chat to live chat, because that makes a big difference also. But so here are the stamps that we've carved so far this year, that I've carved. So they're very cool. It's such a good selection. I will definitely be turning some of them into mass-produced stamps. You bet. So just keep your eye out for that. Make sure you've signed up for my newsletter. You can do that via the link tree in Instagram or whatever else. There's other ways, but... And then that way, when I have the new stamps available, I can let you know. Yes. New Stamp Lab coming up this Friday. P.S. All right. So just a quick show. That's done. Okay. Back to our journal. I know. The mushroom turned out so good. I was so proud of it, really. I love how that guy looks. I do. All right, so I'm going to get out a little plastic cup because I mentioned that I want to do these dots all the way over on the flap. And I do believe it was with the Stabilo. Don't quote me on that because it may have been with something else, but I know that I can make a very similar mark with a Stabilo. And I have a little plastic cup and I just scribble my Stabilo down in there. And I'm going to add some water to the Stabilo because it is water reactive. And it turns into a really nice water-soluble paint, which I love using. And I do this pretty frequently, actually. It's one of my favorite ways to use a Stabilo. And it does create these very fun little round spots that tend to be darker on the outside and lighter on the inside because they're wet and it dries in the middle and then towards the outside. So you get like a little ring. Those got kind of big, but they'll be okay. I better make a couple of these a little bigger. Just to match. There. That should be okay. I love how much you guys love the mushroom. And you guys are more than welcome to follow along with Stamp Lab. And the whole point is sort of just to keep carving and experimenting. And so you can totally interpret those prompts in however way you want. Like last week was shell, and I did a seashell. Well, I did 2 seashells, and Tina did a turtle that was just phenomenal. Like, oh my goodness, it was so good. So good. So I added a lot more water to the Stabilo to give it more of a watercolor effect. And I'm pulling it in and around this spot where there's a lot of gesso. And when it's wet, if I go back in and pick up more color and bring it to the wet spot and deposit that medium into the water, it's called charging. So I'm charging the wet area with a pigment. Yeah, isn't that nice? I like it too. That's why I try to mention it. It's just like such a good term. And I just do a little splattering also. And I'm slowly building up layers as I go back and forth and I turn the pages and I'm sort of feeling out the book and putting in additions. I don't always come with a plan, which is absolutely okay. Like, it's fine to sit down and figure things out and play and experiment. And on this page, so I have these plus signs in 3 different ways. I have them in a medium size watery black, in a giant watery black, and then in a very thin graphite pencil. And I brought it up because I was contemplating doing a gesso one, a big gesso plus sign. Yeah, I'm going to do that because I want to. I need an appropriate brush for something this large. I think this guy will do the job. I am going to pull everything out because I don't want too much of the gesso getting on other pages. And just to be careful, I'm going to mask off over here. All right. Sold. I'm a fan. Yes. And then I think I'm going to do some asemic writing in the plus sign. I'm so sorry. I'm kind of warm. I need to turn my air conditioner on. I'll be right back. I'm so surprised, but already needing the air conditioner. Kind of funny. This is under paper. So I actually have I have 4 layers to my desk, and it's probably overkill, but I have a butcher block on the bottom that I got from IKEA, and then I have a really huge piece of nonstick craft mat, like a heat mat. And then I have a layer of vinyl that is like wood grain. So when I am filming like a reveal video or something, then the wood grain shows. And then I have 4 or 5 layers of underpaper. I do save my underpaper and collage with it occasionally. Not always, but frequently. Yeah. All right, I want to heat this, and then I want to write in it. I just want it to be completely dry, and I think I'm going to come back with a wet Stabilo for that. Oh, man, the air conditioner feels so nice. Is it too loud? I think last year we decided it was fine, but you let me know if my air conditioner is too loud. So I have a very sharpened Stabilo, and I'm dipping it in water so that it activates the Marxol before I get to the paper. And it gives me a very like thick, dark, grungy line, and I love it so much. The only part that's a little difficult is I have to go back and like re-wet it fairly frequently, but I make it work. Oh, good. Thank you so much for assuring me that you can't hear the air conditioner. That's good. I use newsprint, and I can post a link in a little bit if you'd like to the newsprint that I purchase on Amazon. It's like a huge, huge, huge stack. Takes me a couple years to go through it. I think I've only had to restock once in the last 8 years. And I take it like when I do demos and make and takes and stuff too. I take it there and try to use it there as well. There, look at that page. That page really came alive with that. I like it. The whole reason I chose this image was for the house and the trees. And I think there's a car in front, so I think it gets kind of lost. I'm going to just sort of darken up with this leftover Stabilo here, some of this area. Yeah, that's nice. And then I'll probably find a word or something to leave to glue down right here. The only thing is this is vellum, so I know I can't really heat it or it gets too warbly. So I'm going to set that to the side and let that dry naturally. Or maybe once it's dry, I'll do some white marks on it. I don't make as many marks in white lately, but I should. I should get back to that. White I use more as like a base and some splattering, but it makes amazing marks just as much as black does. And any color, really. I'm using what's left over of my watered down Stabilo to sort of mimic stitching where this collage is attached to the page. Oh, and it's really soaking into that paper and traveling, which is kind of a nice effect that I hadn't planned on, but that I enjoy. So now it's kind of like a shadowy effect, and I think I could go back in with a pen, as long as I remember that the pen I'm using is not permanent. Oh, and I dipped that tag in my gesso. Good thing I like gesso. As long as I remember that this pen, along with the Stabilo, is not permanent, I can go in and sort of mimic stitches more, and it'll look pretty cool with the shadowy effect there. I think somebody just tried to come inside and they left. All right. I'm not 100% sure other things I want to do here. So and it's okay to not always have a plan, but I did enjoy the way the pencil was looking, and I love a nice heavy black line. So I kind of figured if I came in and mimicked this wheat stencil with the pen and I was very free with it, I would probably enjoy what happens, and I was right. And now there's so much tone on this stencil, you almost can't even tell it started out as a stencil image, which is fun. And which, you know, if you were there for the Seth After interview today, I tried to make a point to say, like, we all use mass-produced products. We're all reaching for colored pencils. We're all reaching for this. We're all reaching for stamps and stencils. But it's up to you to make them your own. So, you know, a lot of people have the wheat stencil. It is my best-selling stencil ever. And it's up to each of us to make that image more our own and not such a mass-produced look, which can be achieved many ways. Do you guys use an underpaper? Or do you stick to working on a craft mat? I'm using my pen in various ways to add some mark making inside the envelopes and tags, on the tags. It's really great to sort of mimic, too, some of the pencil work that I did with the dark pen. And then there's like a great juxtaposition, but it's like very complementary at the same time. It's nice. Lisa says she uses a craft mat. Michelle says it depends on where she's working, which I can absolutely understand. Dina says she uses a mat. I have the mat down to protect my surface for when it gets too hot. But I love the underpaper because it collects all of the overflow. So no matter what it is, if I'm jelly printing, if I'm painting, if I'm inking, if I'm drawing, it collects all of the stuff that sort of runs off. And, you know, I do a lot of spraying and dripping and things like that. So it's not wasted material if I can collect it in my underpaper and then I use my underpaper in something. I use it as a collage material, even as a base, as a stuffing, as a whatever. I just then have it to use, and I didn't waste any of those supplies. And I know that supply waste is a very hot topic. It really is. Oh, I love that you guys are clean creators. Sometimes I go to edit a video and my brain goes, "Holy crap, why didn't you put down clean underpaper?" Because everything like gets lost and then I feel bad. But I also, to a certain extent, like, how long can you save underpaper? It doesn't last forever. And in fact, depending on what kind of project you're working on, it really sometimes, like you say, it doesn't last very long at all. And so then, it stacks up very quickly. I have a lot of underpaper to use, which I obviously am not doing. So I'm trying to decide just exactly how I want these tags in the book. I have decided that I don't want them to be like this one where they're just a bunch of tip-ins on every single page. I enjoy that and I enjoy the interaction, but what I don't enjoy, again, is the thickness. Although all my stuff gets chunky, I'm trying to do that a little bit less. Dina, why does that not surprise me that you're like Nina and Nancy? Why, oh, why am I not surprised? Some of these tags will be great, you know, kind of just pasted in maybe. Do not feel guilty. Don't. It's, you do you, man, for sure. Oh, I love how dark this is over here. It's so nice. I also really love this 7. I'm going to try to find that stencil, and I want to do more of that. I want numbers all over that page. Because I do. I'm allowed. Yeah, you got to be a badass, like Nina. You do whatever you want. If you want more fodder, you make more fodder. If you want less fodder, well, hell, use some of it up. Shit, I can't find my numbers. That means they're on my desk somewhere, doesn't it? Found them. Okay. I got my numbers. Here's how much I love the wheat stencil. Sure could have sold a couple of those. I do also really love to use numbers and letters backwards. If you haven't noticed, it brings me great joy that they are recognizable imagery, but that then it makes you kind of go, wait, do I know what that is? Ooh, yeah, nice, nice. I create much better when it's cluttery. I don't know, Nancy. Why don't you have it? You can buy it separately if you don't need the letters, or there's a kit that has all the letters, the punctuation, and the numbers with it. I'm beefing them up a little bit, making them a little starker, and I added the 4. There we go. I left you a community post on YouTube. In the community tab, there's a post for all of you supporters. Make sure you go read that post You have until tomorrow. I posted it early this morning, and then everyone else will see that tomorrow afternoon probably. So supporters, if you're here, make sure you're paying attention to the community tab and that you have notifications turned on. There's no other way for me to talk to you about that. About stuff just for you except that community tab, okay? So yes, Nancy, check out the other stuff. And we have about 13 minutes left. So this is when I like to say, if there's anything you want to talk about, if you have a question, a technique, a whatever that you would like to discuss, now would be a great time to bring that up so that we have a few minutes to have a conversation. Otherwise, I'll just run the clock out working on my stuff. But if you've seen something that I've done recently or you have a question about anything going on, please just now is the time. We can have a very open conversation. That's the other thing. You know, the supporters know for sure because I always remind them. And I'm there for them 24/7 if they have any questions or concerns or mixed media ideas, whatever. But now if you have questions, even as a non-supporter, I'll be happy to answer them right now. So whatever you might need. I'm really glad, Nancy. One of the things that I love to do in like spines or openings or whatever is some stripes. It makes me happy. So I'm looking for a place to do that now. The one I think would benefit the most from it. I try not to repeat too much stuff too often in like one book like this. I would prefer that it be interesting every time you turn a page. I want the book to be cohesive and have great continuity, but not be too repetitive. Gabe is doing well. Thank you for asking. He's really excited for us to find our own place so that he can fill his new room. I got a whole bunch of awesome 3D dinosaur decals, like wall decals. I mean, it's enough to fill an entire bedroom. So I think he's really excited to get his own space and get a new space. He has his own space now, but to get a new space and get to work on it because I'm making him wait. We're trying to buy a house. I don't want him to decorate his walls now at his grandma's house. This page is very lonely. I may have to do an image transfer next time on that page. Or, I could glue my house down. I kind of wanted the little tab to poke out, but maybe I don't so much. Maybe it just looks good like that. Yeah, it does look good like that. Of course it does. How are the girls, Michelle? I know that you have other nieces and nephews, but I only know the two girls. I've only met them, so I apologize that I don't ask about all of them, but now I need to decide if I really want it to be stationary, which I'm pretty sure I do. And if I'm going to gel medium it down for like Fabri-Tac. Yeah, I think I'll Fabri-Tac. It's close. Whew, I always forget how much Fabri-Tac smells. Hot damn. I think about that a lot with Gabe. Yep, he was enough. Just one. I know the girls have gotten so old. Like it is just seriously mind blowing. And anybody else, Lisa, I've seen you and the boy taking pictures, which is so nice. Like, Gabe likes to take pictures still, but I try not to post too many of them because he's 10, he's double digits. So soon enough, he'll have his own social media presence. And I'm trying not to hinder that. And Dina, your kids are on vacation, so I hope you guys are getting lots of fun stuff done. And I'm sorry that I don't know that much about other people with kids and grandkids and nieces and nephews, but if you have kids in the family, I hope that they're all doing well. I know it's been a really difficult year, and hopefully everyone is sort of starting to shake it off a little bit and find some sort of normalcy, although I know that's not, not exactly going to happen, but working towards something. Oh, Nina, don't feel old. I'm going to stop here. This is a good resting place for me. I got a little bit done tonight, which is good. I worked a little bit on a lot of pages, and that's how it goes. I build stuff up. I make layers, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the process. Oh, that's right, Nina. We talked about that. That is so stinking exciting. I'm so pumped for you. So, are your kids in their 20s? Kind of early, mid 20s? There you go. Yeah. They're on their own, and that's nice. Are they all moved out? 4 is a lot. That is hella impressive. Like, one and done for me, man. Good night, Michelle. Yes, just call me, babe. Love you. Nina. Yes, they are. I'm going to sit back in my comfy chair, but I'm still here. Thank you, Haley. Yes, I will definitely be making note of that from now on. Nancy, I can fit like 5 of the wax beads in it. So I don't know. How does that compare to yours? You know what? And that's so funny. It wasn't something I thought of that I should make note. But yeah, I can comfortably fit. Here, let me show you. Here is the spoon. See, this is in my hand, so size reference. And if I get out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's actually room for more, like 6, 7, 8 maybe, like a lot fit in there. Yeah, it's a good size. There you go. Throw one in your cart, sweet stuff. Mwah. All right, guys, I'm going to shut her down. I'll pack up the craft. Just for reference, I am not working on this without you. So I will pack it up and set it to the side, and I will see you here next Wednesday. Supporters, I will see you tomorrow night for our other regularly scheduled week. If you're interested in joining me as a supporter, you can do so from the description box, I believe, and or straight from my YouTube channel page. The join button is right next to the subscribe button. So there, check it out. You may be interested in some of the perks that are there. And if not, guys, I'll be here next Wednesday. And I'm truly just glad to have you in any capacity that you decide to join me. So thanks for being part of my journey. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye, guys.